Last two verses we talked about the two gunas, sattvic and rajas. Today I want to take tamas. I'm giving it a little bit more time because I believe that if I take my life and see which one of those three gunas was most dominant, or most often I exhibited, tamas comes to my mind. And I'm looking at the world from my point of view. And I believe that many of us go through tamas more often than the other two. One needs a lot of energy, rajas needs a lot of energy, we get tired. So we are not constantly driven, even though we may have desires, it doesn't drive us all the time to be rajas or exhibit guna, the rajas as a guna. Sattvic takes discipline. And it is very difficult, but that we know is the best guna to acquire as we age, so that passage to the next stage beyond this life is easier. So I believe tamas is the one that we exhibit more often. I exhibit more often. What is tamas? What are the symptoms of tamas? I believe they are worry, apathy, and self-pity. Why did this happen to me? And then you don't have any energy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to do anything. I give up. Whatever. That's apathy. Whatever, who, I'm not going to vote. Being current. Worry. What will happen to me? Will they recognize me for the hard work I do? What will happen to, my wife has gone out to do some chores. Will she have any problems with her car? Some silly worries, and sometimes very big worries. What will happen to this world? What if this person becomes the leader and if the whole world ends? These type of things are the symptoms of tamas. Not acting or doing anything, but just sitting and worrying. That's a symptom of tamas. What are the usual causes of these symptoms? Ignorance, fear, and selfishness. Ignorance is not lack of knowledge about things, it is lack of faith. In other words, not understanding that many of these things in the world are outside of our control. Ignorance about existence of a power beyond us. And then fear. What will happen to me if I lose one of my loved ones? And that causes worry. And sometimes even maybe what will happen to me? I'll be so sad. It's self-pity. Ignorance, fear, and selfishness are the causes of the symptoms of tamas, which include self-pity. So what will happen to me is that selfishness. If I'm not being recognized for the work that I did, will I be fired? If they fire me, what will happen to me? Fear and selfishness. So these things weigh us down and we become ineffective. And that is the characteristic of tamas. When we suffer from tamas, what it leads to is imprudence, lack of effort, like I just mentioned, mistakes, and confusion. That's verse 13. That's what verse 13 says. You'll be imprudent, meaning that you will not take actions that are optimum for a given situation. Being prudent. You might even be lazy. So lack of effort. Even when you take actions, you make mistakes because of this tamas. And you'll be totally confused. Rajas happens. There is this drive and all that. But how long can you sprint? Life is a marathon race, right? We've heard that in many occasions from many scholars. We try to sprint and we get tired. Tamas. We can avoid tamas, and there is only one way. There are many ways perhaps, but one way that I understand is through unwavering faith, lack of ignorance. That is my take on verse 13.